No. So everything's closed and we're all stuck inside. But that doesn't mean our hair stops growing. And mine's starting to get a little shaggy. And I realized I have hair clippers I have never used. So I thought maybe I'd give myself a haircut. But I'm not going into this blind. I'm going to FaceTime with my good friend Tiffany, who's been cutting men's hair for over 14 years. And you might remember Tiffany from our spring haircuts video from last year. I'm gonna do some quick research on how to cut your hair with clippers and then walk through what I learned with her to see if she has any additional tips. I'm pretty excited. I think she's gonna be excited too. Let's go.
I'm just gonna say my disclaimer is it's probably gonna turn out bad.
But first, what you need to know about clippers. Electric clippers were invented in 1921 and they are comprised of 2 rows of blades that oscillate at a high speed to cut the hair. Clipper sets will come with a bunch of clipper guards, which are used to trim hair to different lengths. The guards are numbered from 1 to 8, with a 1 trimming hair to 1/8 of an inch, all the way up to an 8, which leaves the hair 1 inch in length. Clippers will also feature a taper lever, which pulls the blades back slightly to give a length in between the guards. It can also be used to dislodge hair clippings when they become stuck. Perhaps the most important thing you have to do before you start is oil the blades. This lubricates them, will prevent snagging, and protects them. To do that, simply add a drop to the edges and base of the blades. Alright, back to the deets with Tiffany.
And I've been cutting your hair for like almost 5 years now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
4.5 at least.
Yeah, I appreciate you helping me with this. We got a lot of comments when we did our survey about guys being stuck at home, having to cut their hair, both just in general and then for their video calls, but then also some guys, still have to go out and work with these essential jobs. So
right.
Everything is shut down, but people still have to take care of themselves. So I thought I got all motivated that maybe I could cut my own hair. And so I did some research and I just want to run by what I've learned so you can tell me if I'm way off base or if I'm glossing over anything or if you think this is a terrible idea.
So I'll say this to start. Really, most people are never going to be able to cut their hair at home and get a really good result. It's near impossible and it's scary because if you mess it up, who's going to fix it right now?
Yeah, right.
So I'll put my stamp of approval on at least showing how to clean up around your ears. The rest I'm just going to do as a courtesy to you and guide you because I know some people are desperate and they want to try it. And, if you trust yourself or you've cut hair before and you want to try it on yourself.
I'm thinking worst case scenario, I just have to buzz it off.
Yeah, I'll say this. If that is not the worst case scenario any of your followers are prepared for, don't try to cut your own hair. If you're maybe going to buzz it off anyway and you want to try to cut your own hair, that's when I would recommend, okay, have fun. So before you even use the clippers, before you break out the guards, all that stuff, if you want to just get your hair a little cleaner where you can clean it up around your ears, that's something I can stand behind showing you, an easy way to do that. I can even just tell you to comb your hair over your ears. And if you've got some beard trimmers or something small, you can just touch it to the top of your ear and get something pretty clean around.
Cool.
That's something that's kind of simple, but if you really had to do it yourself, that's where I would put my stamp of approval on doing yourself.
So I have my wall clippers and a comb and a bunch of guards. And based on, I sent you a photo of my haircut like a day or two after my last haircut. So yes. I'm thinking I want to do something similar to that, but I recognize it'll probably be shorter if I'm using the clippers all over.
The top of your hair was a scissor cut.
Yeah.
And pretty long still. So we'll see. We'll navigate that.
Okay. So my notes are make your hair damp.
Oh, no, not with a clipper. In your case, I would keep your hair dry the whole time.
Okay.
In my case, as a professional, I wet the hair when I do that cutting because obviously I know what I'm doing and I can see your head and, I want the hair to stay together because I know what I'm doing. When you're doing it yourself, you want to be able to kind of immediately see what you're doing and you can't have that if your hair's wet. So we're already risking a lot trying to do this ourselves. So I want to keep it as straightforward as possible so that you're doing it in a way where you can see what what's happening to your hair as you make the cuts.
Gotcha. Do I comb it away from where I'm going, or do I just comb it the way I want it to lay and then do it?
Because I know your haircut, I know what we're doing here. You're going to be clippering vertically up the sides a certain length. Was that going to be a 2? Is that how short you're going to go?
I was thinking of doing a
4 on the side.
Okay, to start, go longer. I think that's a good starting place. If you're not sure, go longer first.
You can always go shorter. You can't go longer.
So you want the sides from where the curve of your actual skull starts. You want the sides down to be combed straight down.
Oh, okay.
And then through this curvature part of your head, I don't know if you ever remember in the mirror when I'm cutting your hair, I always comb that part forward or up.
This part?
With the top of your hair, because we're not getting to that first. Yeah, we'll get to that later.
Okay.
So I comb that out of the way.
So this part
and then
goes
everything
down.
from about here down, straight down.
Okay.
Perfect.
Cool. So then I got the 4, and then you start in front of the ears, and you kind of scoop away.
In your case, because I know what we're doing with your hair, I would not necessarily scoop away right away. I would just take it vertically straight up and not follow that round of your head, just straight up.
Okay. So then I'll do that all around, sides and back.
And if you can get a mirror situation where you can see what you're doing on the back of your head, that's the only way to do this. If you can't see what you're doing, I already don't recommend this, but I especially don't recommend it if you can't see what you're doing.
Okay.
This is the most expensive mirror ever.
After I do the sides and back with a 4, I was thinking the longest one I have is an 8, and then I would put the 8 on and then do the top.
Right.
And then use a 6 or a 7 to then go blend it in.
With the 8, I would not follow the round of like your forehead like this. I would do it straight over the top of your head so that you can preserve the length at the front of your scalp.
Okay. Maybe instead I do the 6 like here a little higher up, and then I keep this middle part longer, and then either just use scissors or I saw some people were using the clippers with fingers.
Yeah, you can try to blend a little bit on these sides, and then I would even just do the scissor cut on the top. So if you have scissors that you can use, it might be better to point cut into, like kind of come down and point cut into.
To give it, so it's
the
not
different section.
So clean cut.
So that it's still choppy, but in a textured way that looks right, rather than one that's, if you use your clippers, that's gonna look weird.
Gotcha.
I would start at the back, and I would go vertically, so like straight across. No more than an inch thick. And then the same, I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
But the same thing all the way until you get to the front. Small vertical sections that go from side to side.
Gotcha. I do like how right here it's like still shorter.
Yes.
Is that based on how high I clipper or scissors?
That's gonna be so when I would cut your hair, that was where I would clipper through here, and then I scissor cut that weight line out. And this is where I'll say why I don't recommend doing this yourself, because having someone that's trained be able to look at that weight line where that clipper ended and where the rest of the hair is still longer, to be able to then by hand break it up, cut it a little shorter, and make sure that length looks right. You're missing that when you're doing it yourself, and so it's going to be a little trickier.
Gotcha.
So less is more. In this case, if you're unsure, then I wouldn't take it up as high, or I wouldn't use as short of a guard. Longer to start with is better, and cutting less to start with is also better, so that you can kind of gauge.
Well, I'm nervous and excited to try this. When things open back up, where can people come see you to get a great haircut?
If you'd like me to fix your bad haircut at home, or just give you the best haircut you've ever had in general, I work at Southpaw in Silver Lake. It's an Aveda men's salon. It's actually, I don't know if it's the only, but it definitely was the first Aveda concept salon geared towards men ever.
Cool.
So I'd be happy to see you there.
Yeah, it's a really nice place. All right, I'm gonna try it.
Oh my God.
Wish me
Good
luck.
luck. I support you. I will fix it if it goes awry. For everyone else, you're gonna have to wait until we open back up to see me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
think I'm done. Overall, pretty happy with it. No major disasters to report. I didn't do the edges or the bottom of the back because that requires using the clippers without a taper guard, and that felt like potentially an irreversible maneuver. So if you have somebody that can do that for you, just to give those straight lines, that would be good. For me personally, looking forward to going back to the professionals once they're open again, and special thanks again to Tiffany Van Goey for helping us out with this. She's great, and I love getting my hair cut by her, so check her out at Southpaw. And hit the description below for all the links, everything we've talked about. Subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this, and head over to primermagazine.com to see all the other stuff that we do. Thanks, guys. Stay safe. Be patient with each other. I'll talk to you soon.